ओम सहना भवतु सहना भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परम ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ओम सच्चिदानंदरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रय विनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः। ओम जन्माद्यस्य तोन्वयादितरतश्च अर्थेष्वभिघ्नस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्त किल शक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं। समस्त देवताभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण आचार्येभ्यो नमः। परब्रह्मणे नमः। महाविष्णुवे नमः। ब्रह्मणे नमः। सनकादिमुनिभ्यो नमः। नारदाय नमः। वेदव्यासाय नमः। शुकब्रह्मर्षे नमः। सूतमहामुने नमः। शौनकादिऋषिभ्यो नमः। अत्र्यादिऋषिभ्यो नमः। प्रह्लादादिभक्तजनेभ्यो नमः। आदित्यादिनवग्रहदेवताभ्यो नमः। ओम मत्स्यादि अवतारेभ्यो नमः। श्री दक्षिणामूर्ति दत्तात्रेय ग्रीवादिगुरुभ्यो नमः। श्री आदिवराशक्तिमात्रे नमः। आद्य शंकराचार्य वर्यादिगुरुभ्यो नमः। माता पितृदेवताभ्यो नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम श्री कृष्ण परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणम् एकादश स्कन्धः मुक्तिरित्वा अन्यथा रूपं स्वरूपेण व्यवस्थितिः अथ त्रयोविंशोऽध्यायः। द्विज उवाच। Let us chant from 54. ग्रहानिमित्तं सुखदुःखयोश्चेत् किमात्मनोजस्य जनस्य ते वै ग्रहैर्ग्रहस्यैव वदन्ति पीडां क्रुध्येत कस्मै पुरुषस्ततोऽन्यः कर्मास्तु हेतुः सुखदुःखयोश्चेत् किमात्मनस्तद्धि जडा जडत्वे देहस्त्वचित् पुरुषोऽयं सुपर्णः क्रुध्येत कस्मै न हि कर्ममूलम् कालस्तु हेतुः सुखदुःखयोश्चेत् किमात्मनस्तत्र तदात्मकोऽसौ नाग्नेर्हितापो न हिमस्य तत्स्यात् क्रुध्येत कस्मै न परस्य द्वन्द्वं न केनचित् क्वापि कथञ्चनास्य द्वन्द्वोपरागः परतः परस्य यथा महः संसृतिरूपिणः स्यात् एवं प्रबुद्धो न बिभेति भूतैः एतां स आस्थाय परात्मनिष्ठाम् अध्यासितां पूर्वतमैर्महर्षिभिः अहं तरिष्यामि दुरन्तपारं तमो मुकुन्दाङ्घ्रिनिषेवयैव। श्रीभगवानुवाच निर्विद्य नष्टद्रविणो गतक्लमः प्रव्रजगां पर्यटमान इत्थं निराकृतो असद्भिरपि स्वधर्मात् अकम्पितो मुमुनिराहगाधां सुखदुःखप्रदो नान्यः पुरुषस्यात्मविभ्रमः मित्रोदासीनरिपवः संसारस्तमसः कृतः तस्मात् सर्वात्मना तात निगृहाण मनोधिया मय्यावेशितया युक्तः एतावान् योगसङ्ग्रहः य एतां भिक्षुणा गीतां ब्रह्मनिष्ठां समाहितः धारयन् श्रावयन् शृण्वन् द्वन्द्वैर्नैवाभिभूयते। इति श्रीमद्भागवते महापुराणे पारमहंस्यां संहितायाम् एकादशस्कन्धे त्रयोविंशोऽध्यायः। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। ओम श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम। श्री भागवत शरणं मम। श्री सद्गुरु शरणं मम। Suta Sharanam Mama, Shukadeva Sharanam Mama, Vyasa Sharanam Mama, Narada Sharanam Mama, Kumara Sharanam Mama, Brahma Sharanam Mama, Vishnu Sharanam Mama, Parabrahma Sharanam Mama, Krishna Sharanam Mama, Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare, He Nath Narayana Vasudeva. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare, He Nath Narayana Vasudeva. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare, He Nath Narayana Vasudeva. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare, He Nath Narayana Vasudeva. He Nath Narayana Vasudeva. He Nath Narayana Vasudeva. Om Mukhaṁ Karoti Vācālam Bangum Langhayate Girim Yatkrupatamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam. Om Krishna Priyam Sakala Kalmasanasanam Cha Mukti Hetumiha Bhakti Vilasakari Santa Katanakamidam Pivatadarena Loke hi tirtha parishilana sevaya kim Narayanam namaskritya naranchaiva narottamam Devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudirayeto. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Shri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha. Srimad Bhagavata Mahapuranam. Om Ekadasha Skandha Muktiritva Rupam Saruvena Vyamastiti Adatrayo Vimshodhyayah Dvijavansha. Having saluted the entire Bhagavata Acharya Parampara, Guru Parampara, Shruti Mata, our own Guru Parampara, and all avatars in Bhagavatam. Now, we, as summary of whatever has seen so far, first of all, withdraw from this wrong concept that the anything of the world is a cause of our Sukha Dukkha. Come to the understanding is Sukha Dukkha is caused by our own mana. Mana is becoming cause of Sukha Dukkha because of its own false projections. False projections man is doing because that is what is called as mana. That mana should not be given a chance to project anything untrue or false. How it can be done? Only one way, by recognizing the truth. Recognizing the truth is the job of the intellect. And how the truth can is recognize intellect? What is the help for it is three things. One is Shastra, Satsanga. Second, its own logical inquiry. Third, implementation and experience. So when the intellect, through the Adhyayana of Shastra from the Guru, gets the information about what exactly the truth, when it contemplates on it and gets convinced about it, and when it practices and experiences, means intellect is not the one experiencer. When I, the user of intellect, using the intellect, experience what is truth, then there is no chance given to the mind for any imagination projection, both of Sukha Dukkha of any sort. This is the way we have to get liberated. So before we embark on the final stages of recognizing self, first we have to understand about the mana, its variety of ways of movements, then arrest all those unwanted things. We have to bind our own mind, and in how many thousands of ways it tries to freak out, sneak away, go away from us to create variety of emotions, opinions, variety of projections, variety of impressions, variety of imaginations, variety of relativities. So many the mind tries to paint. And that is what the mind is meant for. But that is what is the cause of all the wrong things done, therefore leading to dukkha. So that aspect of mind has to be purely, totally curtailed. Therefore, always study Shastra, according to that only understand and live life. No other thing. And Shastra says, everyone is mithya or everyone is your own expansion, everyone is expression of the Lord. In this way, when you see, there is no problem. Now, that is what is being done, given to us as a training in these last 10 shlokas of this 23rd chapter of 11th Skandha. Each is listed out. You think they are the cause of your dukkha? No. You are the self whom they don't touch at all. And to whomever they are doing the giving of the dukkha, all of them belong to one category of matter, one category of the outer world, the imaginary projected world. You don't come in contact with them, you don't get identified with them. That if we can learn. See, with five upadhis identification, we are suffering. And to avoid suffering because of our identity with Panchakosha, which is born out of Panchakosha, we want to change the entire world. Is it possible, Batao? What is best when you dissociated with these five, then none of the things will give us dukkha. Even sukha, we are in a detached ananda swarupa. That is our actual essential nature. That stage is called as mukta sthiti. There lies the unconditional infinite bliss. And this knowledge, where it is given, is called Adhyatmic Jnanam. Where Panchakosha Tadatma is giving you dukkha, detached from Panchakoshas, Ahanta and Mamata, no more any dukkha to you. Other than that, you can't touch the world, you can't do anything to the world. Because world is Paramatma only, our world is unreal only. That is why in our Taittiriya Upanishad, exhaustively, this is what is being taught to us. In all our Prakarana Granthas, this is what taught. Every Upanishad talks about this only. How to understand the Upadhis or Panchakoshas or three Dehas, and with Drugdusha Veda or any of the Vedantic visions, slowly dissociated with dissociate your identity with them. To that extent, you can feel that freedom. What is the meaning of dissociation? Tomorrow in our morning class of Mandukya, we are going to exhaustively see that. Dissociation means like how do you dissociate with your instrument which are at home? Your professional instruments are domestic. When they are required, you use them. Thereafter, you put them in the bag or wherever. Is it not? Same way, use the instruments for dharma, for sadhana. More than that, don't hold on to them. Don't hang to them. Don't allow them to hang to you. You be back to your own essential self. When this is way is practiced, it's called a detachment. Even with the deha, understand it. It's given to us, use it for whatever prarabdha exhaustion, for whatever the runa vimukti, use it for whatever sadhana one can do. Then a time of its going comes or we leave it, let it happen, another will be given. In this way, when we can dissociate, detach, then all those sukha dukkha will stop touching us. Then, when there is no sukha dukkha, then you don't need to trace the cause of them and fight out with them. जब मैं दुखी हूँ तभी जाकर कहाँ से दुख हो रहा है सोचकर उसको निवारण करने के लिए या उससे युद्ध करने के लिए कोशिश. When myself is not dukhi, how can, what is the need? That's why in Gita, that 6th chapter sloka, tad vidyat dukkha samyoga viyogam yoga sangnitam. Sanischayana yoktavyaha yoga aniruna chetasa. Dukkha samyoga viyoga is the highest of the yoga. Like that guru disciple discussion, so many times you have to remember that. When they went for Bhiksha, the household people have scolded them. Guru just kept on moving. शिष्य also moved. After few kilometers, गुरु को शिष्य बोलता है कि उन्होंने इतना डांटा गाली दिया, you didn't react and you are there, therefore I didn't say anything. I'm feeling so terrible, frustrated. If they have not given bhiksha, it's okay. How can they scold us like that? Please permit me, oh Guru, I'll go and scold them. Guru answered this only. Dekho, there are only three things: the Deha and the Jiva and Atma. If they are scolding Deha and Jiva, we are also scolding Deha and Jiva because they are the cause of bandhanam. If they are scolding Atmas are not two in you and me and they, therefore they are scolding themselves. So what is there for us to feel or react? That exactly is what is taught in these 10 shlokas. And this knowledge has to become natural in us so firmly that anything happens only in the upadhi. I am not upadhi. Everything happens is only in prakriti. I am the adhisthana of the prakriti. I am sakshi of the prakriti. It is not happening to me. In this way, whatever past negativity is done, of that whatever the sukha dukkha are coming, negative or positive, that we have to exhaust. And any new temptation comes, we should know that I am the self. I need not entangle in prakriti to do something, because it will lead to again this agami karma, for which again I have to get the deha adi. That alertness is sadhana. Only two things only have to be learnt in whole entire spiritual sadhana. From the past, whatever is coming into the present, then dissociate with that, saying that it is prarabdha, I have to go through without reaction. In the present only, whenever any thought from within or temptation from outside comes, this is going to bind me in the future, therefore I am not going to associate with that. In this way, when the future and past are not allowed to influence the present too, and in the absolute present, remember, there is nothing including the perceiver, perceived, and perception. Trio, even in the absolute present, present also is not there. Means the kala also is not there. You reach to the kala atita anubhava. This is very acute, very subtle thought. If somebody can catch it, very good. That is why we are sharing. This is what is sadhana. I am in my own self. I am made into a jiva by falling into the trap of the kala of the past and present and future. Jiva is influenced by the past in the present. Jiva is the one who does in the present for something for the future. Is it not? Past comes in the form of the either memories or the prarabdha. Go through it, don't attach, don't react. Again, future comes in the form of some temptation, something. ऐसा करो वो मिलेगा, वैसा करो उधर मिलेगा. Go there, you get it. So you don't go into that. When these two are arrested, so a yogi, that is how he lives life. A yogi's life is absolutely in the present. At that moment, what exactly has to be done happens through him. He doesn't become even the karta of the present also. That's what Bhagavan said in Gita, chapter 3, 30th sloka. Mai sarvani karmani sanyasya adhyatma chetasa nirashe nirmamo bhutva yudhyasva vegata jvaraha. There is no greater sloka than this, by which all the past, present, future, and all the karmas are transcended, and that transcendence slowly leads to the purification of antakarana, where you establish in the self. So there, adhyatma chetasa. Your goal is always wanting to know the self or being one with the self. Yudhyasva. In the present, you do what is to be done. Nirashe nirmamaha vigata jvaraha. Never worry about the future result. Never anxious about the past attachments. In the present, don't be excited. Mai sarvani karmani sanyasya. Offer all the things to be done in the present as a devotional offering to the God. There's no better shloka than this. Gurudev explains this, Gurudev ji, so beautifully. Without the regrets of the past, and without the anxieties for the future, without the excitements in the present, when we perform our duties, offering them to the Lord, and seeing the result of them inside ourselves in the form of purification of antakarana, which should lead to the effortless contemplation of the self, which should lead to the experience of the self or the truth. That's what beautiful chapter 3, 30th mantra. Here also, what we are studying in the BHIKSHU GEETHA is we must know. First, we were reacting in the world because thinking the world to be the cause of sukha dukkha. Then we withdrew from it by knowing that cause is mana. From the mana also, how we have to dissociate by identifying ourselves with the self. But easily you can't withdraw from the mana, because in the mana only the karta, karma, karma phala, etc. are there. So when you give up the karma phala, When you give up the karma identification, when we give up the kartrutva, then only we can detach from the mana. All of that can be done only by focusing our identity with the self, which is infinite and blissful. It is not a karma phala. Therefore, there is no karma to be done for that. Therefore, there is no need of a karta. Then, the most what is can be done is you just become the jnata. And jnata in such a way that there is no again triputi of it is a gnaya vastu, I am a jnata and I am gaining the jnana. I am that self where jnata, jnanam, gnayam are one. Try to be in that. Then all the kartrutva, karma phala go away. Along with that, the mana also is gone away. Then entire samsara comes to an end. These are all ticks we'll develop when we are deeply wanting to know the self or get liberated or free from all sukha dukkha once for all. When this way, with this idea study, we study Shastra, all these ideas start coming to us. And it's a long journey. Keep on walking. Kya farak padta hai? Yeah. So now we saw yesterday up to Graha, and what an interesting thing to have said. Graha nimittam sukha dukkhayoschet kim atmanah ajasya janasya tevai. See, ajasya atmanah kim. How does these grahas touch the unborn me, the self, eternal me, the self? They can't touch the grahas or the graha adhisthana devatas, have no approach to trouble me, the Atma, which is unborn. And always remember, grahas are influencing those which are born, those which are getting modified, those which are dying. So the grahas supervise the birth, then the entire modifications and the death of all that which are born and modifying and dying. And I am the self unborn, unmodified, undieable. And how can the grahas touch me? Therefore, janasya eva. And remember, that which is born called as dehamana, if you associate with them, you can never avoid the influence of grahas on you. Definitely, the graha dosha will give diseases to the body, and definitely the graha dosha will disturb the mind. Then, when you are identified with the mind and senses or body, you feel the suffering is yours. The only way is to associate ourselves with the Nitya Ajanma Atma again and again. And whatever the grahas are doing only to the Upadhi. Let them do. वो उनका शौक है करने दो. Humorous thing here, that Bhikshu says, Grahair Grahasya eva vadanti pidam. अरे भाई, grahas disturbing deha upadhis, mana upadhi, इसे पक्का दूर पे रखो. One graha disturbs the other graha only. In the Jyotish chakra and all, you see the Rahu eating Surya today's Purna Chandra Grahanam in some of the countries. It is not seen in India. Morning it was there. Today is a Paurnima, Buddha Purnima. Yesterday was Nrsimha Jayanti. Wonderful days are coming. This May is the month full of more than 15 festivals. Lot of them. Gurudev Jayanti, Adi Shankar Jayanti, Akshaya Tritiya, Nrsimha Jayanti, all of them come in this month. So today was a Grahanam. So you can see in the Shani is entering to that house and occupying that Graha, and that Graha is entering this and occupying. So they themselves are doing their mutual pida. They being such intelligent Grahas. And then the other meaning of that is what? Yesterday I explained that these Dehendriya Adi all are matter which are born in this earth and atmosphere of the earth. The entire earth and atmosphere, is it separate from the total solar system or universe or the cosmos? Never. That is what, whatever is there in the earth has come out from those Graha Nakshatra Tara only. Then from the earth only all these Dehendriya Manabuddhi came. They were all of them belong to those Graha only. Therefore, Grahas are affecting Graha. Why do you do the Duragraha? You be just a witness to them. Don't get identified. One meaning is the Graha Kutami only, they are troubling each other once a while. If they can influence themselves, each one of them only, why will not they influence the Dehendriyadi of the Jivas on this earth? Definitely. Okay. Secondly, these matter is made from them only. Therefore, they have all the right to expect correct things to happen through our upadhis. If not, they will do such type of punishments, etc., by which the learning is done or the undoing is done of whatever the bad is done. Never ever forget ki whenever grahas show their anger and give us dukkha, that they are doing not just accidentally or to take badla. Only they are clearing of all our wrongdoings and prarabdha. That is why stop to do any papa punya and go through all the result of papa punya of sukha dukkha is the highest wisdom if it can click to one. Then what to do the time, what to spend the time for, that which is beyond papa punya, called as your adhyatmic sadhana, you do. And it is always internal. Where I focus on my upadhis, their control, their mastery, then utilization to discover the self. To whatever the extent their help is helpful, I take it. Thereafter, I just drop him and jump into or merge into myself. Is this only entire our time, attention, effort should be there. Only then we can escape from all this. By the way, in this Graha example, it reveals one more thing is how many ever thousands of kilometers the Grahas may be, their influence is there on us, and our influence means whatever we work, talk, or look at or imagine, iska influence bhi wahan tak hai. So that way we are closely knit associated every moment. Thousands of kilometers the grahas are there. How are they are influencing us? That means the distance doesn't matter. The relation is there. Like thousands of kilometers distant, the satellites are receiving our signals and again they are transmitting. So distance doesn't matter. This is a human scientist discovered nowadays. But in the past itself, the Lord has discovered these are created these grahas. What the grahas are doing, same thing the upagrahas are doing. That's why they are upagrahas, satellites. The planets ke upagraha hai satellite. You understand? Whatever signals we send, they are received and they are sent back. In any of their signal sending instrument or receiving transformer, if there are faults, then the sending and receiving will be faulty. So too, whenever I send faulty things to the grahas, by my wrong actions, wrong thoughts, they are reciprocated back to me in the form of sukha dukkha. If the wrong done by the people is too much, then the prakop of the grahas are so much that big calamities happen where the samashti or totality is troubled. This we have to accept it. The huge earthquakes when they come, consuming thousands, or big tsunamis come to affect many countries. Even the wars happen, even the pandemics, endemics happen. Definitely, they are the ways by which the grahas are teaching the jivas that now set right your lives. And what is the set right of life? Minimum materialism, maximum spiritualism. Because in materialism, because of competitions or greeds or limitation of the resources, you have to cross all the limits of dharma, you have to do all the papa. When it is spirituality, it is not matter oriented. It is the self which is already all pervading, one without second. It is oriented on that. So there is no competition there. There is no adharma there. There is no transgressing all the limitations of righteousness or the rules regulations laid by the Shastra. Therefore, the spiritualism will never become. If you don't succeed in spirituality, there is no loss. There is no papa in adhyatmikata. You may not get result if you don't do it properly, but it doesn't do any harm that way in this way. Therefore, everyone basically should be adhyatmika. Then, for their security, comfort, whatever is required in the world, you get little. Put a full stop to that. If you give licentiousness to your thinking, imagination, fancying, expectation, then endlessly we commit mistakes and sins, and then we have to get the results of that. Is it not too much of radiation? Then the ozone layer is disturbed. Then the ultraviolet rays will come and trouble us. एक क्या हजारों examples you can give of that sort. So this is the topic about the graha. Okay, and Atma Drushti, Jnana Drushti, Tattva Drushti, understanding that I am beyond all of that, trying to identify with that, we should dissociate from the graha influence. While doing it itself at a lower level, we have to respect all these grahas and we have to, in fact, definitely consult the Jyotishya. And he, if he is a really educated Upasaka, definitely will tell these are the grahas which are your own according to your birth. Then some propitiation is to be done for them. You do it. Nothing wrong, and it will be helpful. See, don't understand negatively. You see, your own family. The head of the family is the bigger graha. Under influence or is taking care, we are there. Should we not propitiate him? Head of an organization is a graha there. We are in that family or of the organization. Should we not propitiate him? Then there are the councillors, MLAs. They are all the power holders, graha. When we propitiate them, it is good for us only. Nothing wrong. In the same way, each of us are being guided by some graha. तो दोष क्यों करें उनका? कुछ उपासना करो. Instead of disbelieving and continuing to do non-positive, let us believe and do whatever upasana anushtana done. It will help. And to my knowledge, definitely it works. If you can recognize correctly which graha is angry on us, and we can do the dosha nivarana, if not everything, at least a great extent, the outer problems are avoided. Influence of the graha in our own mind in the form of all non-positive thinking goes away. Then those grahas which were troubling them, they only, if our upasana propitiates them, they bless us in such a way that we become such an active, dynamic person to either serve world or to enjoy the world or to transcend the world to know the self. For example, Bhagavan Shani. No, he is there very much. His influence is there. Shani Graha Adhisthana Devata, Shani presiding on that Graha. Graha is not that the planet Bhautika or Bhaugolika is not Shani. It is his place of stay. There is Adhisthana Devata of that Graha. Totally identifying with that. Yeah, if in my life Kundalini, I have done wrong to him by something or the other, if that dosha is very clearly shown, and if I am told to do the upasana of Shani Grahana, do. See, all the three will happen. He will be happy and stops troubling me. He will help me in achieving the things of the world. And when I request him, oh Lord, oh Garaha, guide me towards my ultimate goal of spirituality, they cater to us in that way. They facilitate to us in that way. It happens. There's no doubt about it. Don't underestimate that. Because they are not get told by these today's Jyotishas. Some of them studied, not studied, or they get the data from the dead computer. ये इनके द्वारा नहीं हुआ. This Jyotish is one of the Veda Angas. It is a part of the Veda and revealed to the rishis given by the Paramatma himself. Shiksha, Kalpaha, Vyakaranam, Niruktam, Chandaha, Jyotisham iti. These are all the Veda Angas. With that science only, in the very past itself, where with that the Jyotish Shastra only, much before the science has born in the universe, our Rishis Munis have understood the movement of the planets, their effect on the earth. Therefore, they told again about the Grahanas, Grahana Dosha Rivaranas, and they used to put that Muhurta for everything for the king or the Praja, and in advance only they used to visualize whatever the calamities that are going to come, and they used to guide. Is it not? When the Parikshit is born, Yudhishthir ji asked, how will be my pota? तीन चार बातों ने उन्होंने बता दी. But he was not happy. Will he be like us, a Bhagavan's Bhakta, or something different? Having asked that question, Yudhishthir gives a lot of wealth to those Brahmanas. Immediately they thoroughly investigate and they find and talk about Parikshit so gloriously. You can read in the Bhagavad Purana in the first skanda itself in 17 or 16 chapter when Parikshit is born. They tell he is पराक्रम में विष्णु के समान है, शांति में शिव जी के समान है, और धर्म और कृष्ण भक्ति में आप लोगों के समान है. So many, and they tell also he lives a beautiful life. He'll be cursed by the Rishikuputra. Then he'll become a means for a great Bhagavata Shastra. Takshaka will bite him before the body dies. He'll only get liberated. सब कुछ उन्होंने पहले ही बताया. You understand it? Jyotish Shastra, Graha Gati, you can't underestimate that. Most important it. And another limitation is they influence only the matter, because they are also matter. The self in us, in the self in the graha being same, that graha will not trouble or disturb anything if we become the pursuer of the pure self, the Atmajnana. Therefore, for Atmajnani, initially there may be hiccups, some difficulties, some troubles imposed by even the avatars, but once they understand that we are serious, sincere, genuine, not only they stop troubling us, they start even helping us. These are all the things we have to know and practically do. So in this shloka, therefore, the grahas are troubling grahas, grahas are troubling grahas. You are not a matter, you are the self. Identify with that, then their influence is not on you. This is how you escape the sukha dukkha. That's what is meaning. So, ग्रह निमित्तं सुखदुःखयोश्चेत् किमात्मनो जस्य जनस्य ते वै ग्रहैर्ग्रहस्य इव वदन्ति पीडां रुध्येत कस्मै पुरुषः तथा अन्यः. है ना? The Purusha, the self in me is Anyaha, other than the Panchakoshas on which the Grahas are showing their influence. Always remember, everything is in Maya, everything is by Maya. Maya can do everything and influence everything, but not Paramatma. And luckily, that Paramatma Tattva is our own Atma Tattva. By choice, you can identify with that. If not, identify with Upadhi and get kicked by movements of all Graha. वह ग्रह तक क्यों? पड़ोसी में, हमारे गांव में या गली में ही कोई स्मोक फायर एक्सीडेंट होता है, उसका ही असर हमको होता है. What to talk about the graha? When we are identified with the body, the next person can influence himself, instill the corona in us. ग्रहों का तक जाने की क्या जरूरत नहीं है. ग्रह नीड नॉट कम. इसे मैंने कोरोना को भेजा, वो देख लेगा तुम्हारा काम. You are identified with the body, we are not secured even with the neighbors. What to talk about the graha? If you are identified with the pure self, not even the farthermost grahas can touch us, nor any of the things around. So this kimatmana is ultimate common once for all solution. Then the matter influencing matter and detaching from that is the temporary solution. Understand? Temporary solution is giving the sukoon at that level. Like a grahanam pida, grahayir garaseva pida. By saying so, we are detaching. But knowing the self, I know myself is permanent solution. Okay. Next way, same thing said, karmastu etu sukha dukkhayoscheta. Your way kim atmana taddi jada jadatve. Deha tu achit purushoyam suparnaha. Rudyate kasmai nahi karma moolam. Therefore, it's again a very high level of shloka of the Mandukya Karika level it is. It is Alata Shanti level. So if I have to explain this to you, every word, every sentence, I have to quote the Upanishad mantra and explain it. It will be a 1 week program. But cutting short, the 4-5 salient, important, essential points. What are they? Karma hatu hetu sukha dukkha yor vai. If at all you consider the karmas as the cause of sukha dukkha. First thing is kimatmanaha. To the self, there is no influence of karma. Atma neither does the karma, nor it gets influenced by the karma. Okay? And all the karmas are done by the Maya or the Ishvara or the Jiva. That's when Gita nadate kasachit papam na chaiva sukrutam vibhuhu न कर्तृत्व न कर्माणि लोकस्य सृजति प्रभुः न कर्म फल संयोगम प्रभावस्तु प्रवर्तते न दत्ते कस्यचित् पापं न च वे सुकृतं विभुः अज्ञानेन आवृतं ज्ञानं तेन मुह्यन्ति जन्तवः. These are all the 5th chapter shlokas, very sublime. Self is infinite, there is no finitude in it. Therefore, there will be no desire in it. Therefore, there is no kamana in it. Therefore, there is no karma in it. There is no karma phala. Let us be very clear about this understanding. The inner self in me, being infinite, there is no feeling of finitude, there is no kamana, there is no karma, there is no karma phala bandhanam. That is the meaning of kimatmanaha. Okay. Then second thing is one, karmas are possible to be done. And the karma phala also influences only in a very unholy, imaginary, illusory wedlock of jada and ajada. Ajada means chaitanya. जड़ चैतन्य का ग्रंथि जो जिसको जीव कहते हैं, रिमेंबर उसी के द्वारा कर्म होता है. कर्म का फल भी उस जड़ चैतन्य मिश्रण वाला मिस्टर मिश्रा जी जो है जीव, उसी को होता है. ओके, हियर द चैतन्य हैज नथिंग टू डू and it never does it. Jada cannot do anything by itself. Jada cannot do anything by itself. Chaitanya need not do anything. Chit Jada Granthi is the one which does. Now, a very subtle thought that is shared here, which we have to recognize only on the seat of contemplation, is this Chit and Jada can never come together. Then if they can never come together, then how can there is a Jiva? That is called as delusion. Is it not? The innocent snake, rope, poisonous snake can come, never come together. Is it not? But what is the snake there? The astitva of the rope is borrowed from the rope. Because something is there. What is it? It is not known. The easiness of the snake belongs to the rope. Then the snakeness is belonging to our own illusion. Now, what is actual thing? Ease of the rope can never become the snake. Snake can never exist without the easiness there. But the snake never became snake, is never there, and ease has never become snake. That why then where come the snake came? In non-discrimination, this way subtly. The one who is able to this way very subtly discriminate, he will dissociate himself from the jada by identifying itself with the pure Chaitanya. Then there is no Chit Jada Granthi Rupa Jiva possible. And Jiva is not possible. Jiva only associate Upadhi, then only he will become the limitations, feel it. Then to complete the limitation, to become unlimited only, he will get the desires. Then only he will do all the karma and he gets the karma. Each of these Vedantic visions, so many explained in all our Shastras, Upanishads and all, we have to keep on listening, studying. That is the only way to grow in our wisdom, to be freed from all bondages. So, karma tu hetu sukha dukkha your why? First is kim atmanah tatu. How does it affect the atma? And tadhi jadas jadatve, tat karma doing, karma phala enjoying or suffering is possible only the jada mishrana. Now, in the jada mishrana, deha tu achitu. The body is jada. It won't do anything like that. Otherwise, the dead body should do. Then Purusha ayam suparnaha. The Purusha is pure, conscious, infinite self. He has nothing to gain or lose. So why will he do something? Then Krudhyata kasmai. Then whom are you blaming? Are you blaming the Jada Dehas? Are you blaming the Chaitanya Atma which never does? No, the last line of this shloka is $1 million. What is that? Nahi karma moolam. If you go into the moola of the karma, karma is impossible. Why? Because moola of the karma is karta. Who is the karta? Not the atma. Who is the karta? Not the deha. Then who is the karta? Jiva. Who is the jiva? Who has taken the deha of the prakriti? Who has taken the satchidatva of the atma? So, actually, is a jiva existing independently? Is a mixture of these two things. आत्मनः सच्चिदंशः बुद्धेः वृत्तिर्यद्धि द्वयं संयोज्य चाविवेकेन जानामि करोमि इति प्रवर्तते. Now, just by some effect, detach these two, the Chaitanya Atma, Jada Deha. What happens? Jiva is dissolved. Jiva dissolved, he is the moola of the karma, there is no more karma. And actually that is the reality. कर्म का मूल वाला जीव का अस्तित्व ही सत्य नहीं है. Like in a movie, the fighting करने वाला हीरो विलन का अस्तित्व ही नहीं है, because they are only projected. If the astitva is questioned, then all the actions which they do, they are also illusory or delusory or unreal. But if you give reality to that hero or anybody, all his actions, words, dialects also are gathering the reality, then the entire movie appears to be real. In the same way, the jiva in me now is on inquiry is found to be non-existing. But we are not doing inquiry. We are like, if you inquire the snake, you will find snake is not there, only rope is there. But you are not interested in inquiring. Except inquiry, you want to do everything. See, except inquiring, if you do anything else, eternally the rope is covered, eternally the snake will be there, eternally your effort will be there to protect you from the snake if you dislike it, to attain the snake if you like it. The samsara will be endless. That's what also in the morning class, Taittiriya, in the Bhashya, Bhagavan was trying to say. Same thing we saw in Vedanta Dindima also. What is the position of karma? What is the position of bhakti? What is the position of jnana? How beautifully today we saw. Hope you are with me in the study of these mantras. Karmastu hetu sukha dukkhayorvai kimatmanastadhi jada jadatve deha to achitu ayam purusha suparnaha kasmai krudeta. अब किसको क्रोध करते हो? ना देह को you can become angry with, ना self. You have to become angry with jiva. And to become angry with jiva, you have to catch that fellow. When you try to catch that fellow, he will not be found because it's delusion. That's what Bhagavan Ramana Maharishi bases all his teachings only on that. Catch the fellow to whom is Papa, Punya and Sukha, Dukkha and Bandha Moksha. When you try to catch that fellow is gone. And what is eternally there, that is revealed. That cannot be spoken, therefore he never speaks of it. It is experienceable. And he is so confident, anyone who reaches there, definitely they will see it. Like you have put for your child a wonderful dish or sweet in the dining table in the kitchen में कहीं. तो बेटा मैं तुम्हारे कुछ बना के रखी हूँ. Mother says, क्या है mother? She will not tell. She will not tell because she knows that is kept by her only there. And when this fellow goes, he will be unfailingly seeing it. She says, जाओ पहले तो देख वहाँ क्या है. बोले की जरूरत नहीं है क्योंकि जो है वो दिखेगा ही. So that's how he based his philosophy on that. Self is anyway there, it will be revealed. Now to whom all this dukkha inquire, you will find he is not at all there. Is it not? These are all Yoga Vasishta Bhasha. This is what is thousands of times Patanjali, our Vasishta ji tells to Rama in that. Ramana Maharshi has taken from that with his own experience, he has given it to us. So here also, what is the most beautiful thing ultimately? Nahi karma moolam. It is again contemplatable thing. It should be contemplated for a long time. And you should not misunderstand this sentence and stop doing any karma. Always, as long as we have the vasanas, we have the jiva bhava, we have the raga dvesha in us, to exhaust them, whatever the vidyukta dharma karma we have to do, definitely we have to keep on doing. And see their influence inside us in the form of this purification of freedom from raga dvesha. It goes on. At the same time, try to understand the depth of this. Nahi karma moolam. Karma moolam is jiva, jiva is false. Jiva is amalgamation of the Dehadi and Chaitanya Atma. Dehadi are jada, they have nothing to do, they can't do. Atma has nothing to do because it's already infinite. Therefore, तीन चीजें हैं. देहा है, जीवा है, आत्मा है. Atma need not do, Deha cannot do, and Jiva is not there to do. We have to recognize that. Secretly, silently. It is a struggle of many lives. And that need not be shared with, अरे स्वामी ने कहा कोई जीव नहीं है, चलो, there is no जीवो government order, let us live essentially. Don't misunderstand, misuse all this spiritual knowledge. इसलिए बातें सबको नहीं बताए जाते, हमेशा नहीं बताए जाते. Only toward the end of his avatara, not to only to Uddhava, Bhagavan is telling it. And many of us also just study only kathas of Bhagavata, Krishna Leela, Nrsimha Leela. You don't go into Vedanta. Therefore, also the text is safe. Only you and I, some of us who try to thoroughly study, we only come across it, whether to misuse it or rightly use it is in our hands. And there are only 4 or 5 people. 4-5 लोग बिगड़ गए तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता और गारंटी है बिगड़ेंगे नहीं with this knowledge. So the best sentence in this sloka is nahi karma moolam. Okay, come to that understanding. What karma I have to do when I am infinite blissful self? Be in that. And the kriya becomes karma when the kartrutva is added with that. Kartrutva comes into picture when there is a karma phala associated. Karma phala is there when there is a kamana-iness. Kamana is there when there is an apurti is there. Apurti is there when there is a avidya of the Atma is there. When the Atma Vidya comes, Atma is Anantam. Therefore, Apurnata is not there. Avidya is not there. Kamana is not there. Kartrutva is not there. Karma is not there. Karma phala is not there. Such a beautiful state of being is that. I'm not doing anything because I have nothing to gain or lose. I am blissful self. That we have to recognize on the seat of meditation. That state of being which is eternally there, we have to own it. We have to identify with that. It is not to talk to others. It is to be experienced. That's why morning Upanishad means Brahma Vidya. Upanishadena Brahma Vidya Uchate. Tat Shilinam Garbha Janma Jaradi Nishatanat Avasadanadva Brahma Gamayutritvena Upanishad idu Uchate. And also Tat Upanishannanam Paramashreyam iti Upanishatu. Tadarthena grantha bhi Upanishad iti uchyate. You understand? A morning bhashya? How nice it is. उसको इसको मिला के पढ़ो समझ में आएगा. So, is the karma karana for your sukha dukkha? Yeah. Then what to do? Don't do karma and know the jnana. Is the graha sar sukha dukkha karana? Yeah. Then why you give chance to the graha to trouble you? How do you give a chance to graha to trouble you? By identifying the upadhi and not doing what grahas tell. Are the human beings cause for dukkha to you? Yeah. Why? You only identify the body, establish your relation with them. Instead of loving, serving them with the dharma, you only expected undue from them and you committed all the sin. Therefore, you get kicked by them. Kuch bhi ho, the cause of problem is with you, the solution also is with you. Don't blame them first of all. Why? Because when you blame the world and try to find solution there, the solution will never come. Not only that, it adds to the problem. It keeps on adding problems. I tell you one secret. When a topic of argument comes, if you stop arguing, I tell you, solution may not come, but the problem will not go to the level of crisis. The moment you start arguing, the problems grow. When each of you are sitting to discuss and find the cause and find solution in a healthy manner, then it is not an argument. It is a samvada. In samvada, why I think that it is like that. That person also says, yeah, you said it is right, and I think this also can be added. You also say, yeah, what you are saying also good. Therefore, let us come to this consensus. Problem is solved. But if you go with the mood of the argument, the problem becomes aggravated only. The being silent may not solve sometimes, but it don't aggravate the problem. Then not only being silent, we have to be inside ourselves, become introverted. अपने ही प्रारब्ध है, अपने पिछले का कर्म है, इसको झेलो, इसके यहाँ से कुछ लेसन सीखो. Then pray to God. Oh Lord, please dissolve the situation as early as possible and remove the bitterness in the mind of that person and me also. We may not stay together, but maybe not have distaste to each other. Is it not? Maybe have not a displeasure with each other. That's what. Ma vidvishavahi. एल्को ने को याद आया था, उसका चेहरा देखना पड़ा, तो एक दूसरे को वो दुष्ट द्वेष से ना देखे. At least this much will help us. Pray inside the heart. And anybody who are not in good relation with, detach slowly, delicately. Neither hurt that person, nor hurt yourself in a healthy manner. Even if the wife and husband have to separate, because they are separating to come out of dukkha, then that separation should solve the dukkha once for all. It should not go for long life. अबे मिल के खुशी से रह नहीं सकते बेवकूफ. बिछड़ने का तो कम से कम अकल से करो, ताकि the lifelong you should not have regrets. Anybody, is it not? If at all has to be done. This is how it is. Then you can go on contemplating. Next, kalastu hetuhu sukha dukkhayoschet kimatmanah tatra tadatmakosau nagne nihitapo na himasya tatsyat krudyeta kasmaina parasya dandvam. Again, this is a very deep, detailed shloka. Every shloka, when I am studying, I feel like telling for 1 hour, but you have to complete the chapter also, then enter the new one. So he says, Kalaha tu hetu sukha dukkhayoho. If you think the Kala is the cause of the dukkha sukha, kim atmanaha, then how will it influence the Atma? Because Atma is not touched even by the Kala. Atma is the Chaitanyata presence, in whose presence Kala is going on existing with its division into past, present, and future. And first divided thing is present. With respect to present only, the past, future are set. Otherwise, there's a linear, the Kala is going on. That's why an Atma Gnani is neither past nor future nor present. He is in the pure presence. He is beyond the Kala. It's a big subject and discussion about the Kala and the Desha and mutual relation with Desha Kala, and how Desha Kala together are creating the entire universe, and how Desha Kala is the children of the Mana, and how the mind is the child of the ignorance or delusion. It's a big subject. If you can have time, patience, energy, you can go into those deeper studies. But what he says is Kim Atmanaha. You are a witness to the Kala. आने दो जाने दो. Why are you getting affected by Kala? काला कभी सुख लाएगा, कभी दुख लाएगा, कभी न्यूट्रल रखेगा. वो कभी रुकता नहीं है, चलता ही रहेगा. Then tadatmaka asau. What tadatmaka? In another word, Kala is your own self. Like Kalosmi lokakshaya krut pravruddha, Bhagavan says, I am the Kala who came to the Kshaya of the Loka. Earlier I came as Kala to create. So I myself am the consciousness becoming as a Kala or appearing as Kala. Therefore, when Kala is bringing Sukha Dukkha, you don't identify with the Sukha Dukkha, you identify with the Kala. Sukha Dukkha Kala is bringing to the Upadis. Don't get isolated with Upadi and suffer Sukha Dukkha. Say Aham Kalosmi. I am the consciousness. In my presence there is a time, and time in its own eternal moment brings Sukha, brings Dukkha, brings a neutral thing. It is eternally going on. So what? Identify the Kala as Aham Kalosmi, then you will not have influence of Sukha Dukkha brought by the Kala. That is what Tadatma Kosam. Another meaning is what? This Jiva is always one with Paramatma. Therefore, the Jiva Bhava, when you drop and identify the Paramatma, then the Kala influence will not be there to you. When we identify the Atma, Kala will not influence. Kala's influence is only on the Upadhi. जड़ा उपाधियों पे समय का असर होता है ना. चैतन्य आत्मा को स्पर्श करेंगे ही नहीं. सी द टू एग्जाम्पल. न अग्ने ही तापः. Will the fire, burning power of the fire, burns the fire? It won't, because the burning power of the fire and fire are not two separate things. So to I and the Kala, if I am separate, Kala will influence me. At that level of separation, I am not the conscious self, I am the Upadhi. Therefore, Upadhi is definitely troubled by Kala. At the pure consciousness level, when I become associated with the Kala as my own self, like the burning power of the fire will not burn the fire. The heat and radiation of the sun will not burn him. Like the poison of the snake will not kill it. The bitterness of the bitter gourd will not make it bitter. You understand all these things? Because they are the dharma and dharmi are not two, is one only. Another example is himasya natsyat. The coolness of the ice will not trouble the ice. वो दोनों अलग नहीं है. इसी तरह I am, see, the Kala cannot be without me. है ना? That is why the Kala Pramana in English, the English fellow says correctly. What is the Pramana of the Kala calculation? What is the unit of Kala? If you ask them, they say second. Perfectly they said it. And you have to ask question. And they will not have the answer. You have to give answer. What is the question? Oh my dear, why do you call the unit of time as second? Why not first? If you ask this question, you'll never have answer. We have the answer because the time is always second. Because first is I, the conscious self. Is it not? I am the first. Then the time is second. Then the second time when it comes, in between them the time is called as first second. You understand? Because at the point of A, the distance is 0. There should be another point B. Then only between A and B there is a distance measured, whether it is in distance of space or in time. An event happened, another event happened. In between the events is called as Kala. There come the first second. But that first second also is second only. It is not first. First is consciousness. That's why when I get up in the early morning, I don't know the time. Because in the self there is no time. Then I become aware of my mind. Then the Kala, what's the time? Then where I am, what is the place? After Desha Kala, then identity. Hurry, I have to go to the office. I am an officer. Then immediately all the duties we come to remember. Then we become the Karta of all those karma. In the night also, we give up everything. Then we go to one Desha. We give up the Devasha also. Then we give up the Kala. When the Desha Kala is given up, the whole Jiva Bhava is dropped. You are slept. And in the sleep, no Desha, no Kala, no Vishwa, no Jiva. Manifest. Till morning 6, 7 o'clock. The moment we get up, first consciousness. Then the Antakarana. Then the Kala. Then the Desha. Then my identity. With respect to Desha Kala. Before that, I am pure awareness only. At that time, early morning, I am aware of my own self. But I am not familiar with myself being awareness, no. Actually, that is a state of realization. We are familiar with only becoming Jiva, Dehadi, and doing something in the world. Therefore, immediately we have to become aware of time, place, identity, and jump into variety of activities which were planned a day before. Actually, otherwise, the moment of sleep, moment of getting up from the sleep are the times of realization. That is why in some text, I don't remember it is, whether it is Mandukya Karikas, Mandukya Karika to Laya Sambodhya Chittam Vikshiptam Shamayat Punaha Sakashaya Vijaniyat Samam Praptam Na Chalayat. It is said, it is said in either Panchadashi or in Sadachar. लय विक्षेपयोः सन्धौ मनः तत्र निरामिषं ससन्धिः साधितो येन स मुक्तिपदमर्हति. लय विक्षेपयोः सन्धौ मनः तत्र निरामिषं ससन्धिः साधितो येन, and it is in Sadachara, याद आ गया. स मुक्तिपद. लय विक्षेपयोः सन्धौ. Laya is sleep. Vikshepa is dream or waking. Sandhau, in that Sandhi only. Tomorrow, day after, we are going to study the entire Samhita Upanishad of Taittiriya, depending on the Sandhi rules of Samskrita only. Thoda touch karenge, elaborate I will not say. So, there only Mana Tatra Niramisham. Mind is there, non-vegetarian, pure vegetarian. There is nothing but the mind to eat. Then what happens? There is no mind. Therefore, Sasandhi Sadhitayanaha. The one who is able to catch that moment of Sandhi, of Laya and Vikshepa, Samukti Padamarahati, he will be in the Mukta sthiti. Though this is called as Kalastu Hetu Sukha Dukkayoschet Kim Atmana Tatra Tadatmakosau. You are the Atma of the Kala. Kala can influence Anatma, the Upadis. It can't influence you. Or Kala influences Jiva But Jiva will be influenced by Kala as long as Jiva. As long as Jiva is, when he's with Upadhi. When this Jiva jumps into identity with the Atma Vastu, Kala का effect उसके ऊपर भी नहीं रहेगा. नाग्नेर हितापो न हिमस्तस्याद क्रुध्येत kasmai. From where you are getting krodha? Now, again, every shloka, the last line is important. What he says? Na parasya dvandvam. In the pure Parama Atma, there is no dvandva of the sukha dukkha possible at all. Then, possibly nahi hai. The sukha dukkha रूपी जीव का कर्मा पापा पुण्य, and then the kala bringing that full of the papa punya sukha dukkha, all of them are not there. To that core of our inner personality self we have to reach to. That is the goal and aim and theme of all the Vedantic spiritual life. That is there very much in our own bosom, lurking very deep inside the cave of our own sukshma spiritual heart. We should be able to reach there, discover that, stay there. That is the acme of perfection. That is the ultimate joy of fulfillment. Enough of going all tirtha yatras. Stop. Go inside the self. When the Guru is teaching us the knowledge of self, where all things are there, again and again going out will take you away from the self only. Go inside. There is a pilgrimage inside you only which we have to make. And the sanctum sanctorium is there very much inside you. There we have to reach. And luckily here, there's no worshipper other than you. You are that. Parasya dvandvam kidhar hai beta? Krudyeta kasmai na parasya dvandvam. The para atma ko na, the karta nahi hai, wo bhokta nahi hai. Papa nahi hai, punya nahi hai. Sukha nahi hai, dukh nahi hai. Akartaham abhoktaham, na punyam na papam, na saukyam na dukkham. Siddhananda rupa shivam shivaham. See? No, these things are absolutely beyond our head, we know. But if you don't start listening from now, when will you start now? When the God Guru is giving us chance. Let it be resulting in our conviction and practice and result after 10 lives, never mind. But that 10 life after we do sadhana, if you start gathering information from now without that biasness or disliking. See, everybody are in the material world. From the material to spiritual, everybody will have to travel this way only where they do nothing sadhana in the beginning, only listen for some lives. Only after that, then little it starts influencing us to start thinking about what is real, what is unreal, what is temporary, what is permanent, what is binding, what is liberating. After that only the understanding comes. In the understanding, the conviction comes. Therefore, I have to dissociate from temporary, miserable binding, associate with the permanent, happy, liberating. Then he is born as full-fledged sadhak. But that will happen later, only if you gather the knowledge now. श्रवण छोड़ोगे ना, आपको मनन के लिए डेटा ही नहीं रहेगा. जो शास्त्र श्रवण के द्वारा मनन करेगा, वही ध्यान के द्वारा परमात्मा को पाएगा. शास्त्र श्रवण ही नहीं किया, then his data is not there for mananam, then he does manmani. Whatever the mind says, he thinks it is right. See, there are two things. One is, I know something or I believe something. Second is, what you know and what you believe. Is it correct? Is it authentic? Should we not question that? मैं कुछ जानता हूं, बट वो पक्का का नॉलेज है क्या? वो क्या वो ऑथेंटिक है? We never questioned only that. Interesting. Think about it. Then, न केनचित् क्वापि कथञ्चनास्यां द्वन्द्वोपरागः परतः परस्य यथाहमः संस्कृतिरूपिणः स्यात् एवं प्रबुद्धो न बिभेति भूतैः. Now, this shloka again is $1 million shloka. Baba, so much is put in each of shloka. अगर नहीं बताऊं आपको तो मुझे दुख होता है. अब बताऊं तो heavy लंबा होता है. That's why in this Bhikshu Gita is not an ordinary text. It is from the worst life of that Brahmana doing a papa. From that, it lifts us to a level of Aham Brahmasmi, where you are infinitely blissful, not influenced by any of the things to create Sukha Dukkha. Total journey हमको कराता है भिक्षु गीता from the worst problem to the highest solution. If you travel with that. आहा, एक तो क्या बढ़िया श्लोक है ये. क्या कहते हैं कि परतः परस्य, परतः परस्य, para means the maya, parata para means the one who is atita to the maya. For that Paramatma, the Supreme Lord who is beyond even the Maya Shakti, or the Supreme Lord who is in beyond the Ishvara total level, or the Supreme Self which is beyond the Jiva, to him, Parada Parasya, very good thought. Listen, na kenachit, na kwapi, na kathanchanapi, dvandva uparagaha. Uparaga means lepanam, attaching, association. Uparaga means like you put the cosmetics और you put the मेहंदी. कॉस्मेटिक्स थोड़ी गर्मी आ गए तो पिघल जाता है. मेहंदी 10 दिन 15 दिन रहता है. टट्टू द टट्टू रेसेस फॉर फ्यू इयर्स. और कोई बचपन में जो हम लिए थे ना, दी पोलियो इंजेक्शन अभी तक है वो. अब जिंदगी भर जाता नहीं. दे आर कॉल्ड उपराग. रंजनाथ राग. रंजन मीन्स रंग लगाना. न उपराग मीन्स न लेपनम. लाइक कागज का टुकड़ा हमारे ऊपर गिरता है तो वो लेपन नहीं करता, फिर गिर जाएगा. वो पानी गिरता है तो इट विल स्टे फॉर सम टाइम टिल द एवापोरेशन हैपेंस. बट कोई खाने की चीज गिरता है तो इट स्टेज फॉर लॉन्ग टाइम. एंड उसमें भी कोई तेल गिरा मानो, फिर मैकेनिक एंड ऑल फनी ऑयल्स, ऊपर आगा सो मच हैपेंस ऑन द क्लॉथ, इट विल नेवर गो. ओनली यू हैव टू ड्रॉप दोस थिंग्स. आई एम टेलिंग यू द मीनिंग ऊपर आगा. एसोसिएशन, अटैचमेंट, लेपनम, उससे लेपित होना नहीं होता. Is it not? Of what? Dvandva uparaga. On to the pure Paramatma Tattva, Parataparasya, Dvandva uparaga, identity, association, lepanam of Dvandva, never happens only. Na kenachitu, not by anybody, not kwapi, not in any time or place, not kathanchana, by any of the reason. By nobody, by any reason, at any place, at any time, for the Parata Parasya self in me, na dvandva uparagaha, none of the dvandvas influence it. Whatever the dvandvas are there, it is advandva. Nirdvandvaya namaha, nirdvaitaya namaha. कोई द्वंद्व उपराग होता नहीं परमात्मा को. That is what is immaculate nature. And what are the dvandvas? The main dvandva is janma and marana. After that, so many dvandvas of Shatru and Mitra. Then Lava, Hani, or Jaya, Parajaya, or Sukha, Dukkha, or Papa, Punya, or Swarga, Naraka, or health or ill health. None of the dvandva, by nobody, by no means, at no place, at no time, can touch or influence the self. Such immaculate is the self, untouchable. न केनचित् क्वापि कथंचन द्वंद्वोपरागा परतः परस्या. Identify with that self. Come down from that self level, द्वंद्वोपराग हो जाता है. Even you become an Ishvara, you become द्वंद्वोपराग yukta, because some people worship you because creation is beautiful. But some people, if the creation is not good, they will blame you. Okay? Are you listening? You come to the level of avatara. Even if he comes as avatara, do you think everybody loved the avatara? Not now that the Krishna and Rama haters are there. At the time of their own avatara, there were Kamsas, Shishupala's. Not only fighting, they tried to kill only him, Duryodhanas. They had to jail out the Dvandva. They might have not become inside, made anybody friend enemy, but they had to reciprocate, no? When Kamsa comes as Shatru, Krishna had to kill him. शिशुपाला है अपने तरफ से नहीं होगा, लेकिन तुमको वो एक्शन तो करना पड़ा ना, उसका रिजल्ट तो हुआ ना. फिर Kamsa is killed. Then the Asti Prapti became so miserable. They went to Jarasandha, told Papa, Papa, he has killed your son-in-law. He became angry and he attacked 17 times. At that time, how many Yadukula Vamshis died? उसका हिसाब नहीं है. Any dissociation from the pure self we come and come to any level, there will be uparaga of the dvandva. You cannot escape them. So being jiva and deha, you can never escape dvandva. Identifying with the self, none of the dvandva can touch you. Choice is yours. One choice you are already executing. अब आइडेंटिफाइंग द जीवा एंड देह एंड गोइंग थ्रू द्वंद्वा. मजा आ रहा है तो रह दो, सजा लग रहा है तो वो ट्राई कर लेना. Because why spiritual initiation takes long time, because people are happy with this sukha dukkha dvandva. Only among thousands, that one fish only tries to, all fishes are happy in the water. There's never fishy for them in the waters. One fish only thinks, अरे सब पानी है, वहां जाके तो पानी खत्म हो रहा है, उसके ऊपर क्या है. That fish again and goes there, again and goes there for a moment, but again comes back with other fishes. One day suddenly, kuch bhi hoya, I'll see what it is beyond. Then somehow it jumps out of that, then it becomes the amphibian. Then it finds a bigger horizon than the water other than it. Then slowly it becomes bhuchara, then if it goes into the water, again it will die there. That jal mein rehne wala machli is equal to jiva, who is only in the dvandva. और जो भी है मेंढक का कुछ भी, which has come onto the earth is spiritual. The spiritual person, when he finds liberation, he'll never go back into the water. He will die there. Means he'll say that I'll die, but I'll not become jiva. He'll never become. Why it is delayed to enter? Because हमको इसमें सजा नहीं दिख रहा है, मजा आ रहा है. That is a difficult most thing to conquer. Only when I think deeply and understand that I as an ego, sometimes by getting love, sometimes by getting objects, sometimes by getting respect, sometimes by getting sympathy, I am finding pleasure in them. All of them are temporary, effortful. What is something other than it, independent of beyond of it, on which substratum these are all coming and going? Only a person who is of that type can do it. And the one who is fully went through the world, honestly, he alone can have the inquiry. More than a frustrated fellow. Generally, we think a frustrated fellow becomes vairagi or sadhaka. No, the completely involved person also becomes sadhaka, who has fully gone through the world thorough. Like the one who discovered the Bhumi Akarshana Shakti. Some name is there, Newton or Volta. No, so many times apples fell down or any other fruit. Every time he ate them because he was angry. That day he had fully food taken. So he was complete. That's why when the fruit fell down, he did not had the desire to eat it. Because he was desireless or complete in his mind, then the question came, okay, why did it fell down? Why didn't it go up? Then he started throwing so many things. Everything is coming down. That means there is something which is commonly pulling. Is it not? Then he discovered the Gurutva Akarshana Shakti. Is it not? A complete person. इसलिए कहते ना, a frustrated person. Tomorrow, day after, you will see it so beautifully in that fourth or fifth Anuvaka of the Taittiriya Upanishad. And from that you will understand how glorious is Hinduism, which never talks only about the pure Vedanta of giving up everything. You will see tomorrow or day after in that The prayers are what? Give me wealth, so much wealth that I must be richer than everybody in the world. With that, I'll do all dharma karyas, then I'll be fulfilled in that also. Then I give up everything and come to you, O Lord. That is asked. Give me the wealth so much, O Lord, I will enjoy. इसलिए ब्रह्मचर्य गृहस्थ आश्रम फुल्ली इंडल्ज हो जाओ, एंजॉय करो. Then don't totally get lost in that like a stupid buffalo or animal. Sit quietly and see and think and understand, note down all the limitations there. Then seek the ultimate. This is the healthy way. That's how the four ashramas. That is why the one totally from many lives he has got samskaras. Right from beginning when he takes up from brahmachari to sannyasa, he will quickly go through and realize his self. Other ones who go through the stage by stage, they also evolve. Those who don't go through stage by stage and are caught up only in the grahastha they also will never spiritually evolve. And the other ones who are not fully matured or paripakwa, their journey also will be half only. I am sure you are understanding what is being said here. This sloka is so powerful. Na kenachit kwapi katanchanaha dvandoparaga parasya paratmanaha. Like parasya paratah parasya. Then whose all these belong to? That is a $1,000,000 point which requires some explanation. If I start it, I can't do it. So we'll have to have one more day waiting for this chapter and nothing wrong. So yata ahamaha samsruti rupina syat evam prabuddhaha na vibheti bhutaihi. Now each of the words have so deep meaning. Therefore, at a level of our maturity, gained through lot of Shastra, Dhenam, Shravanam, gained through the grace of Guru and Ishvara by their Upasana. What is written in the shlokas, not only that, what is hidden behind them, the deeper implication or purport that we should be able to catch. That is called as real study or adhenam. The outer shlokas and their literal meanings are only packages. The contents are something sublime. Only the one who is blessed by the Guru Ishvara and has studied for a long time the Shruti and understood the glory of Shruti and approached Shruti Mata with reverence and awe and respect to him only, the unseen, hidden truths and realities which are really are ultimately helpful to us, they are revealed. That's called real Adhenam of Upanishad or any Shastra. Whether it's Vidurniti, whether it's Bhajagovindam, whether it is the highest Upanishad, Mandukya or Taittiriya or Bhagavata Ramayana. ऊपर क्या बताया है, अंदर क्या बताया है, अल्टीमेट क्या बताया है, उसमें मेरे लिए क्या है. When I understand these four, then I am a pakka matured student. For that, we have to have such a Shuddha Sattva Guna. Sattva Guna will come only when Ragadesha Kama Krodha of Rajoguna are gone away and eating, sleeping of Tamaguna has gone away. Jignasa of the Sattva Guna comes. I must know, I must ponder. And to know my intellect has to be sharp and subtle. For that, I have to be very sattvic. Therefore, I have to do only Sattvika Neva Seveta, which was said 15 chapters before that, before this chapter by Krishna. To become Sattvaguni, you have to do the Sevanama of only the Sattvika Vishayas. Actually, that day the real sadhana starts. When we do the connection with only Sattvika Vishayas to make our Antakarana Sattvaguna, after which alone we become sharp and subtle enough to read in between words or the lines or letters to understand what is superficially said, deeply said, ultimately said, and said to me, for me at this moment. कल देखो. सर्वं कृष्णार्पणमस्तु. पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की जय. सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय. थैंक यू.